Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2. This is going to be our third game of New Zealand versus Netherlands. We're going to be continuing on here with Shura versus Jonah, and we are going to be continuing on. Now, just before you continue any further, there was two previous games. If you haven't seen those, the actual links to them are in the bottom on the description. Very welcome to check those out, of course, because there will be a bit of spoilers, and after seeing this you might not want to see it anymore because you'll know who wins. So yeah, you have a few seconds. Until then, we're going to introduce our two players. Shura, who is actually at the top side here, the Red Zerg, also known as Scarlet, probably better known as Scarlet. She's on Team Acer. She's from New Zealand, and she is nicknamed the Queen of Blades. Now, as I mentioned in game number 1, she's not a very big fan of it. Her opponent is going to be Jonah, who is representing the Netherlands and MCon Esports. And he's actually not been that much on the pro scene. He's actually got only some minor tournament wins. So I think there's 2 wins and a few runner-ups and all this kind of stuff. So it looks like Jonah opts to go for an early English is not working, early pool, and he's actually done this before the supply overlord has come out. So it was about 14 or 13, I didn't actually see exactly when. I would assume probably 13 or let's just say 14. And it looks like Shura has actually gone for a hatchery first. So Shura, of course, going to be in a much better position to defend this at the beginning. Or rather, in a much better position to start off with good economy. But at the same time, if this doesn't work, then the Zerglings will be able to overrun her and pretty much take her out at the very, very beginning. So, going to be a bit of a tense moment, going to be dangerous, and hopefully she'll be able to defend up against it. Now, as you can see here, it does appear that Jonah has actually scouted out in the correct direction, so of course he's going to know pretty much exactly what's going on. It's going to be very tough to defend off against this, but of course very, very doable. So let's see what's going to go on now. Of course, at this point, I will reveal, of course, Shura has actually taken out both previous players, so currently at 2-0. And has won that first game. Now it looks like there's a spine crawler being put up here. These Zerglings starting to focus down the hatchery. Now if they destroy the hatchery, it's still going to start favouring Shura once she builds up a few of her own Zerglings, simply because her economy in the main base will be a little bit better. Now if you notice, the way rushed Zerg builds go, it's you don't actually make any workers, you just rush a bunch of Zerglings. So 11 workers on the main hatchery here. So even though Scarlet might lose, or Shura might lose her hatchery here, she's still ahead because she has this base fully saturated. So 2 more spine crawlers are already in here. She's definitely going to be able to hold this off. Now there's only a few Zerglings left for her. There is 2 spine crawlers coming down as well. Got to be burrowing very quickly, and at that point, once this is up, this aggression is going to completely stop. There's going to be very, very little that Jonah's going to be able to do after this. So I assume he's going to start and think about expanding very soon. Doesn't actually look that way. It's very, very strange. And look at this. Spine crawlers are now in position. Base is going to have a queen in it very soon. As you can see, the income is a lot in favor of Shura. So about 50% more income for her. She's about 220 ahead, which is quite huge this early in the game. Now there are Zerglings and Banelings here for Jonah, as you can see, doing a lot of aggression here. One of the spine crawlers does get taken out. The other one, I don't think there's going to be enough units to take it out just yet. So the question here is going to be, is he going to continue this aggression, or if he's going to back off a little bit? There's a lot of Zerglings streaming in. So honestly, the correct response here is, yeah, throw up a few more spine crawlers, but at the same time, do not forget your units. So he does have 4, or she has 4 queens in total. These are going to be very good against holding off against Baneling busts. Simply because Banelings are not that great against units with 175 health. I thought it was 85. So looking at production tab, looks like Jonah is continuously making more and more Zerglings, finally deciding to go for that expansion. Now at this point, look at this, 440-ish minerals per minute versus almost 800. So if Shura decides to basically build up her economy very quickly right now and then move out with a few roaches or even a bunch of Zerglings, she will easily be able to overrun Jonah. So let's have a look at this supply count. Very, very heavily favoring Shura. Gonna be able to damage a few of these Banelings, but at the same time, she cannot let these Zerglings run into the main base. If they run in, that'll be absolutely deadly. And there we go, the surround going out on that Spinecrawler, managing to transfuse it. And this is huge right now, keeping that Spinecrawler alive for just that bit longer, having all the damage being done by the Queens, and now finally backing off. Now Shura is going to be aware of what exactly is going on here. Look at the supply counts. Workers 14 versus 25, and army 7 versus 17. So she's definitely ahead right now. She's doing very, very well, and that was a very, very well defended fight. To be honest, something like this is very rare to see. Early aggression from Zerg is very risky on this map. Now, luckily, Jonah was able to go in the correct direction with the Overlord, so he did not need to scout anywhere else. If he went the wrong direction, or he didn't find the base on the first Zergling run-in, he would have essentially lost all of that aggression timing, and essentially Shura would have had enough damage or units to actually defend off against it. Now, strangely enough, she's deciding to go for a third hatchery here. Honestly, personally, I think this is the incorrect thing to do. She did have vision of this hatchery going down. She's going to know that currently Jonah is going to be hurting very, very badly. His economy is going to be absolutely non-existent. This is all that he has. Just a few Zerglings and this Baneling. So he would be in Shura would be in an absolutely dominating position to go ahead, be aggressive here, and essentially take him out completely. So 41 for 26 workers right now. As I was saying, this would have been quite a run over if she decided to continue on with this. Now let's see, Roachborn is on the way. There's also a lair on the way here for Shura. So she's doing very, very well right now to tech up. It's going to be, I think, very important for her to attack as soon as possible. Get that hatchery up, get a little bit of economy on it, maybe even just use it for the the actual larva, and then just move out and destroy him altogether. So she still has double the army supply, but that's of course the 4 queens that are in place. Does look like Spinecrawlers in place already. What is this? These are double evolution chambers. I think this is actually being a bit misplayed here. Honestly, this is a bit of a risk, letting Jonah expand and basically continue on like this. The longer she waits, the more he's going to come back into the game. He could macro up so hard right now. Does have his own second base or third base coming out as well. So what is this? It's an evolution chamber, 2 of them as well coming out. Roachborn also on the field. It does look like roaches are first coming out for Shura, and more being created. So there's about 10 of them going to be on the field very shortly. Few queens. There is also the observer, or sorry, overlord. So it looks like 1-1 being produced here for the roaches. So this would be crucial right now. If Shura can basically mass up a big roach army, should be able to run straight into the base, and just there'd be nothing to stop it at that point. Let's see how the economy is going right now. Let's look at the mineral counts as well. Looks like Shura is still a bit ahead. It's about 400 minerals per minute difference, which is not huge, but it is not too bad. Oh, this one Zerg or drone getting almost taken out here, just not controlling it enough. There we go. The drop here going down. It's actually 4 roaches inside it. Level 1 armor and or carapace and ranged ground attacks is coming out here for Jonah as well. Now these Banelings, I don't think they spotted that. Now let's see what he's going to do with this. Possibly just going to run it into the mineral line. Any sort of economic damage right now is going to severely hurt Jonah here. He was already behind from the beginning, but as you can see, there we go. The game has been so standardized right now at this point. 59 to 56 drones. A bit of economic damage also being done. Now where are those roaches? 4 drones in total were taken out here for Shura, by the way. So the worker count is actually favoring Jonah at the moment. But the thing is that Shura has, instead of macroing up further, decided to go for the army. Quite standard. She is at about 60, almost 60 workers, which is, you know, just about perfect for your economy. It's all you need really to sustain yourself. As you can see here, almost, well, actually more than double the army. So it's going to be a huge engage. Bunch of roaches versus a bunch of roaches. pretty much very standard here. Let's have a quick look. Does look like Shura has her upgrades already completed, so this would be the perfect time to do this. Not actually attacking, she's just letting the other Russians attack her and just not finishing them off. So let's have a look at this. The army supply very, very heavily favoring Shura. The drones have also been pulled off here, gonna get taken out very, very quickly. Look at the amount of drones getting taken out here. That Overlord standing there, and oh, look at that, GG, well played, has been thrown out. Now just to note, that Overlord over there on the left hand side, not actually dropping, but if he did, it would have actually done quite significant other damage to the drone line. So that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds actually. Okay, so that's it for game number 3. That was quite action packed, and I have to say that Shura wasn't quite sure about moving out. Of course, it's hard to predict those things, but she was in a much better position for pretty much all of that game. I kind of thought that's exactly how it's going to end. So we're going to be moving on to game number 4. She's on a 3-win streak right now. Very, very well played here. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck, take care, and leave that thumbs up button. Very, very important for me. Thank you.